Welcome back, everybody, to Operation Eclipse. This is the British Commonwealth and France, turn 13. We have some housekeeping items that I've already changed on the board, but just to go over them, British Commonwealth does have radar and NSR Marine Warfare, so the FEC gets to keep its dollar, and this line isn't damaged. In Italy, improved construction does not protect facilities, improved construction only protects factories from strategic bombing damage. It doesn't protect naval facilities, so the shipyard does have 2 damage on it, and these ships are all trapped in port. This one is free though. In Germany, the American Strat Bomber rolled 3 D6s instead of 2, and so we fixed that, and so 3 damage actually came off this factory, and since he had the production to be able to build at it, the extra island did decide, instead of putting a infantry into Bavaria and infantry into Eastern Germany, he wanted both of those infantry to be built into Western Germany, and the German transport will be in port in Western Germany instead of in Eastern Germany. Alright, so I think that has got all the housekeeping items sorted out. Japan did get improved factories, so they have elected to build the infantry that they built into Calcutta. They instead wanted to be built into Siam, since they can build 2 things at minor factories now. So that's already been reflected there. So yeah, I think that's got it for that. So we'll jump into tech rolls for the British Commonwealth. We have 3 of them. We've completed all of our major techs that we were going after. So now we're rolling for some techs that might not see the light of day, but we'll see. So we are going to roll for improved factories, improved construction, and heavy strategic bombers. That's going to be a miss on improved factories, a miss on improved construction, and heavy strat bombers is also a miss. Would have liked to have had those dice for combat rolls. We'll see what happens. Alright, so British buys. Great Britain is going to be lend-leasing a medium tank to the French. So we'll stick that on here for that. Great Britain is also going to be purchasing a militia, 2 militia upgrades, going to be purchasing 2 fighters, and going to be buying 2 infantry. The FEC is going to spend 8 of its $9 buying 2 Gurkhas, leaving them with 1. And then Anzac is going to spend 3 of its $7 getting another airborne, and that'll leave them with 4. Alright, combat moves. We will start with GB over here. Not a whole lot of major ones. This fleet is going to come back from their failed assault on Western Germany and go into A23. And we are going to pick up 2 infantry and just throw them at the Netherlands and at Belgium. See if we can't pick up hits for at least one of those to make that a fair or an even IPP trade. But if not, oh well. So it's going to be those 2, and there are no options. Well, there's no fighters anywhere, so except in Berlin. So yeah. So that's going to be that there. The British Med Fleet isn't doing any combat moves. No combat moves down here. I think really the only major combat move that we have is that we are going to be attacking Siam with the 32nd. So 1 infantry from the 32nd. That's going to be the we'll just have our FEC infantry. Is going to come out of the 32nd, and it's going to walk over and liberate Anam Tonkin for the French. And the rest of the 32nd is going to go into Siam, and they're going to be joined by the airborne from Sydney. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it can land in Burma with its 8th movement. So we'll stick that to the 30-second marker here. Alright, and then we're going to have our sub. There's an escort duty here, so we are going to move up one into P41, and we are going to raid there. I think that's got it for combat moves. So not very many, but definitely a consequential one. Our seaplane doesn't have any subs that are in its range. So it'll stay where it is for now. And then, oh, we do have one big one, or of bigger consequence, rather. Our strategic bomber with our airborne is going to fly 1, 2, 3, 4, and drop off into Bavaria and take that over. And there is no scramble option here because Bavaria is empty. And then the strategic bomber is going to promptly run away back to London. And that does, I do need to swap up the buys for London. Instead of 2 infantry, it's going to be 1 regular infantry and 1 airborne that we build in London. So same cost there, but that's the dealio with that. Okay, so take away that factory at least for a turn, since they got improved construction there. So yeah, that's that. So really just over here to roll for, we can do our sub rating first with a couple of D6s. We'll just do these rolls for our sub. We'll be in red, and we will be at a +1, rating the Japanese line there. So that is going to be 2 damage to the line here, East Asian line, and we'll take away those 2 from Japan. In Germany is at 80 IPP. They were supposed to collect 82 at the end of their turn, and then the Soviets raided them for 2. And then this Vichy battleship was supposed to go back to the Free France build chart after Paris was liberated. Okay, I think that's got housekeeping. Who knows? There's probably more. Anyway, so it's a sub rating. We did that. Next is just to roll out Siam. Siam is a normal territory, but as you can see with this few things here, this is a mountain on the Siam side, so our units are going to be at a mountain penalty for round 1. But we will bring our card down, or actually instead of bringing a card down, we'll just copy all the units and put them in the ocean here, and we're going up against the 41st. Make sure there's nothing to be able to scramble. Okay, so the Japanese are going to have 2 dudes defending at a 2, and then they're going to have, looks like 12 dudes defending at 4. So we'll have 2 golds for their 2, their 2s, and then there's some die up here. I'll just copy all these and bring them down. And they'll have 12 dice in green for their infantry. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. The British, meanwhile, so all of our Gurkhas count as mountain infantry, so they don't face that mountain penalty. And then Siam is a jungle territory, so we actually get +1 attack with all of our Gurkhas. So those guys, along with the airborne on round 1, are going to be attacking at a 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 threes for us. 6, 7, 8, 9 threes. And then we're going to have, it looks like 11 regular infantry attacking at a 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at 1. And then our anti-air is just here. Japanese do have a transport plane in Siam, but it doesn't participate in the combat. So our anti-air does not fire. It will just participate. So we can go ahead and roll out our thing. So just make sure that we have everything correctly. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is 11, and that is 11. So we'll see how this goes. I think I'm actually going to stick these up here, these guys down here, so I can roll all these dice at the same time. We'll do the same for Japan. Three, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, and then 2, 2. Alright, so hoping this goes well for us. Let's see. So out of our 3s, it looks like we only got 1 hit. And out of our 1s, looks like we got 0 hits. So already off to a fantastic start, as we have been this game. So we'll see what Japan does. Golds are at 2, greens are at 4. So that's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. So we deal 1 hit and take 4 hits in return. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is not great for us. 3s really let us down there, unfortunately, but it's how it's been going. So we'll lose so the Japan will lose their militia, and the British have to take 4 hits, and it's just going to be 4 regular infantry. So we'll lose 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And we'll go on to round 2. It's just absolute garbage. So for round 2, our regular infantry are at 2 now. Our airborne drops down to a 2 though, so we'll lose 1 of our gold die and have an extra orange die now. So we have 8 at 2 left, and we have 8 at 3. And then the Japanese have their 1 at 2 and their 12 at 4. So we'll roll for round 2. And that's going to be 2 hits off our 3s. And that's going to be 1, 2. Okay, much better roll for us this time. 3 hits off our 2, 4 hits off our 2s. Much better. Okay. They heard my complaining and decided to show up. So that's going to be 6 hits. Daggum. Okay. So yeah, much better roll for us this time. We got 6 hits. Hopefully the Japanese are kind to us. And the militia airborne is going to miss, and there's going to be a lot of infantry hits though, so it's going to wash out. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits for the Japanese. Goodness gracious, we just can't ever have a good roll. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits the Japanese have to take. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits, and we are going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to keep our British one for now. So it's going to be all but 1 of our 2s gone. We keep all of our 3s. Japan has 7 4s left. I'm not sure this is in our favor anymore, which is just how it's been going. We had our one combat in France, which is a good one to have, and then all of our other combats have been garbage. And that's going to be one hit for us, and Japan is going to have 3 hits for them. This is just absolutely garbage. I should have taken this over, like 8 units left. So Japan loses an infantry, and we lose 3. What is that? Probably gonna lose 2 Gurkhas. Did that. We'd be looking at 6 on 6. 6 4s against 6 3s, yeah. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Alright, yeah, we're gonna lose the 2 Gurkhas, and then the anti-air, and our other 6 Gurkhas are gonna retreat into Burma. So we're gonna have 6 Gurkhas left, and the anti-air gun. And Japan has 5 infantry and a marine. And then their transport plane. Whatever. Okay. Non-combat moves. Moving Bengal into the 32nd. And we are going to rail a colonial from Cape Town up into Rhodesia. Don't think we have any non-combats here. Not up here. Our other non-combat is that we are going to move our fleet. So our coastal defense ship is going to stay behind with the Americans. We're going to leave a heavy cruiser with the Americans. And we're going to leave a destroyer with the Americans. And the rest of the fleet is going to go 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to have some of our guys go into I-5. So our heavy cruiser is going to come out of port. He'll be in I-5. Actually, he's going to be in M8. We're going to have all 3 battleships and the TV destroyer and the transports are only able to reach M8. So they will stay in M8. We're also going to leave We have 3 heavy cruisers left. And then we have 3 light cruisers. Our sub also has to stay. It only has 3 movement. I think he only has these 4 units that can reach us. So we'll just leave the destroyer in the C zone. The first fleet will move to I-5. So it's going to be 3 battleships, a heavy cruiser, destroyer, torpedo destroyer, sub, and then our 3 transports are going to be an M8. Alright. That'll be what we leave in M8. That should be plenty. Okay, so that's that. We did that rail. I think we got everything else covered. So we can place our buys. The airborne is going into Sydney. 2 Gurkhas is going into Burma. Our militia is going to go into Sardinia. Going to put a fighter in Cape Town. Going to put the infantry, the airborne, and the fighter, other fighter, into London. I'll clean this up before sending a save over. And the French medium tank goes to Normandy. And then 2 militia upgrades go to Africa. Going to do 1 in Lower Egypt and 1 in Tobruk. Alright, and that's going to be that. So we'll collect money. Great Britain is at 38 plus 5. So they will collect 43. FEC collects 6 to go to 7. ANZAC collects 5 to go to 9. And there is that sub there. Yep. So there's also these guys here. So no wartime bonus for ANZAC. So that'll be that. We can go over to the French turn. France is going to be buying, has $13, going to be buying 2 militia, 2 foreign legions, leaving them with 1. France has a couple of combat moves, so their fleet that is in port in Lower Egypt, we're going to sacrifice them by sending them into I-7 and blockading the Japanese ships there, and they're going to be joined by our 3 French submarines as well. So Japan has the option of having a coastal sub fire in I-4 and then the regular sub fire in I-7. I kind of definitely do that since we do have these submarines as cover for both of those battles, though. But that is a option should they like to take it. Otherwise, France combat moves. Our infantry in Syria is going to be walking into northern Iraq and taking that over for France. Our infantry in Transjordan is going to be attacking southern Iraq along with the fighter. See if we can't take both Iraqs. And then in France itself, everything in Normandy is going to attack Picardy. And if we somehow get lucky enough to be able to blitz, medium tanks are going to blitz into Alsace-Lorraine. So how do we that? We can roll Syria first. We got a fighter in red at 6 and an infantry in green at 1. That's going to be misses for us. The British or the German militia will fire back at a 2, misses at a 3, right around 2. And that's going to be our fighter hits, or do the militia firing back at us, and it misses at a 12. So we will take over southern Iraq for the French. And then we will go up into Picardy. So we have 3 6s for our 2 medium tanks and our fighter. And then we also have a Foreign Legion at 2. And then the Germans have medium armor and 3 advanced mechs defending at a 5. So they have 4 5s. So we'll roll our guys. And that's going to be 2 hits for us. And thought that 3 was a hit, but it's just the Foreign Legion. And then the Germans firing back at 5s. They're going to get 1 hit, so our Foreign Legion is gone. And I'm assuming he wants the advanced mech gone, and then one of the Panzer Grenadiers gone, and keep medium armor until last. So we'll roll for round 2. We got our 3 6s. Unfortunate. If only one of these other ones could hit. Oh well. And then the Germans have their 2 5s. So it's going to be 1 hit both sides. So it's going to be a medium tank for us and a Panzer Grenadier for the Germans. And then we will have our fighter and our medium tank press on. And that's going to be hits for us. Too bad we didn't get that last time. And then the German medium tank defending at a 5 is a miss. So we will liberate Picardy. And for that, it's going to be that. I don't think we have any other movements. Our transport's actually gonna come out of port from the dockyard in M8, go down to I-5, and he's gonna stay out of port. He'll be there with the British fleet in I-5. Our fighter is gonna land back in Lower Egypt, and then the French fighter here is going to go and land in London. So we will place our French buys. We're going to drop off a Foreign Legion into Syria, a Foreign Legion into Anam Tonkin, and then our 2 militia are going to be for Normandy and Aquitaine. And our free Foreign Legion that we get is going to go into Normandy. I think that's got it for the non-combats on the French. So we will collect their money, and I think we have to have both of these to get the +2. So we just get the +1 for Suez, and France is at 12, +1 is 13, so France will collect 14, or have $14 rather, in the bank for their turn. And so with that, we'll pass it over to the Electron for Italy turn 13. France did relatively well. Britain continues to have garbage combat numerals. It just is what it is. Let's see if we can't still pull something out of our hats. Alright. So yeah, we'll pass it along and see you next time.